Hello, everybody, friends, family, all. Here it is, January the 4th, I believe. Tomorrow is the election, and I just had to say something to everybody, especially based on 51 years of me being a Republican. I had never, ever voted for a Democrat, ever. But this is a story of how I became an independent. Now, I'm not going to say I'm not a Democrat. I'm an independent. So it all started with a trip Donna and I took last year to my high school reunion, and she reads a Kindle at night, and so she's brought it along, and along the way, I said, "I'm tired of the radio. Why don't you read something?" I love her reading. Pardon me, and I've got to be reading too. But she said, "Yeah, I just recently downloaded the Mueller report, and I think you might find it interesting." I thought, well, that's going to be pretty dull for 6.5 hours. She said, "Well, you might have to learn a couple of words here. First one is sycophant. Now, sycophant is an associate who does your bidding, often even with just like an understanding, you know the boss wants this done, so you don't even have to ask him, or he hints at it or whatever." The other one is oligarch and oligarchy. Now, an oligarchy is what Russia is today, post-socialist communism. It's not a communist state anymore. It's an oligarchy run by oligarchs. They're like princes. When the Soviet Union fell, basically the assets of the Soviet Union were up for sale, and rich guys bought it, like airports and industrial things and water, whatever, all that stuff. Anyway, so Donna reads it, and we get to the reunion. It's been 6 hours. I'm going, I cannot believe how many connections the Trump associates have with Russians. I mean, this is just phenomenal. I mean, it clearly shows that Trump is in cahoots with the Russians. I mean, he is like in bed. I don't know what they got on him, but there's something going on. And he uses all his sycophants to do his bidding. Now, like I said, he doesn't even have to say exactly what he wants. A lot sometimes, I guess if it's a big thing, he would have to say it. But anyway, so we get back home, and by the way, in 2016, I did not vote for Trump, okay? I was still a Republican. I wrote in a Republican, okay? Now, that's just my secret, all right? Anyway, so get back home. We're looking at the hearings, and we see the Attorney General say that there was nothing in the Mueller report. I went, what? Nothing? I can't, I think there were like 1,800 connections with Trump associates dealing with Russians, okay? And if you know who Putin is, Putin was a Stasi, which was the East German police. And when Germany became a whole, these guys became part of the KGB. And then when the Soviet Union fell, basically it was whatever they are now. It's not the KGB anymore, but they just changed the writing on the door. No, everything's the same stuff. Anyway, so I thought, what the hell? The Attorney General says there's nothing. He didn't read it. Okay, then all these then Fox News, there's nothing. This is just a made up thing. And I was thinking, there's no direct contact or direct, no smoking gun directly that Trump fired, but there's a lot of smoking guns that everybody else fired that worked for him. So then this goes back to what I know about Trump. If you don't know about Trump, he was raised by his father, who taught him to be a con man, he never says, I'm sorry for anything. Never, ever. The other thing is, you are either with me or you're an enemy. And I will do the other thing. I will do anything I have to succeed. I will never, ever admit to failure. Failure is not an option. So you can see what's going on right now. Trump is trying his little lackluster coup here. He also believes in conspiracy theories, which I don't quite understand. I mean, he's a sucker. It's like he's like The Godfather, which is his favorite movie, by the way. He's like a godfather who's not very smart. Thank God he's not very smart. But he's bold as hell, and he lies all the time. Listen to what his sister said. There was a recording where his sister said, they were talking to his niece, Trump's niece, and the sister said something like this. It was like, and he lies all the time, and he has no principles whatsoever. And the niece said, yes, I know. It showed when, I can't remember when either his brother was dying. Wait a minute, it must have been one member had to do with Mary Trump's family, but bottom line, Trump tried to take away the money from the health care they needed when he was in the hospital. I mean, to give you an idea. He learned to be a psychopathic narcissist, which he is. Now, if you look at what he's been doing recently, you must say something's wrong with this guy. And these two Republicans that are running for the Senate right now are culpable in Trump's lies and supporting the idiotic decisions he's made. I'm sure he's made some good that are good. Well, a blind squirrel gets a nut now and then, right? But anyway, he is an awful person. And anybody who, let me go back to this. My friend Gabriel Sterling is the manager of the Georgia elections right under the Secretary of State. And Gabriel is a Republican. Known him a long, long time from when he was a kid. Know his father, his mother. Now, there are people that have threatened his life. That gives you an idea of how far this sickness of Trumpism has gone. And so just remember, try to vote tomorrow as a patriot, not an automatic Republican, please. Just think about it. Something needs to change. And Mitch McConnell needs to have his power reduced a lot. He's part of the problem too. Anyway, that's a whole different story. That's all I got to say. I'm working the polls tomorrow, so I got to go to bed right away, get up early, and travel to Conyers. So think about it. Have a good night. Go vote. If you don't believe me, and you're still going to vote for those two people, I'm sorry. Hopefully you'll learn stuff later on that may make you say, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Anyway, good night.